If the Tennessee Titans had a better quarterback than Will Levis, they would be 2-1 right now. They got dominated by the Packers today. A main reason why is because Will Levis just looks like Jameis Winston 2.0. He had a touchdown early in this game, and then a few possessions later, he throws an interception, and then he has a pick six to Jair Alexander. He had a fumble, and his costly turnovers have costed Tennessee these first three games because against the New York Jets, he had a stupid fumble that caused him to get cussed out by Brian Callahan in the red zone. Like, he's just too reckless to be trusted to be your quarterback one of the future. And I was telling my homeboy because he picked the Titans to win this game. And I was telling him, bro, what are you doing investing money into Will Levis being the starting quarterback? Because if you're taking Tennessee to win, that means that you trust Will Levis to be good enough to lead this team to the win. And he said, even if Will Levis has a couple of turnovers, they can still overcome them. No, you can't. When you're having multiple turnover games, it puts your team at a disadvantage. He said as long as he's not giving the other team points. Well, it didn't take him too long to do so with that gift that he threw Jair Alexander. I mean, come on. Brian Callahan cusses this dude out on the sidelines, but then after the game, he says, we're still rocking with Will Levis as the starting quarterback. You got to move on and go to Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph, he isn't as physically gifted as what Will Levis is, doesn't have the arm strength, doesn't have the mobility that Levis has, but he takes better care of the football than what Levis does. And with the kind of team that Tennessee has, they got a great defense. Their run game is normally pretty good. They were unable to run the football against Green Bay on Sunday, but mostly they are pretty good on the ground. And as long as you have a quarterback that can make the necessary throws, doesn't cost you games with turnovers, you could be a better team than what you are right now. And I know it's early into the season, but you're on 3 right now. And the more games you lose, the bigger hole that you put yourself in, where it doesn't even make any sense to make a quarterback change once you get into week 7 and you're 1-5, 1-6. At that point, you might as well ride it out with Will Levis. Maybe he can turn around, but you still have a chance to be able to keep this ship afloat while you're this early into the year. Just go ahead, eat it that you wasted a second-round draft pick on Will Levis and throw Mason Rudolph out there, because at least he has showed during his time starting for Pittsburgh last year that he's going to be able to take care of the football. The name of the game is not giving the other team extra possessions, and that's what Will Levis does, which makes it hard to win if you're Tennessee. And not just that, but he's overthrowing guys. He can't hit DeAndre Hopkins. He's just too erratic during the games to be a serviceable starting quarterback. And I never was high on Will Levis anyway, because the same issues that we see him have with the Titans right now were the same issues that he had at the University of Kentucky. So Will Levis, I think the experiment just needs to end if Tennessee has any hopes of trying to make it to the postseason. This division is still up for grabs. They're not out of it yet, but the more they keep starting Will Levis, the bigger hole they put themselves in. And once you get to week 10 and you bench Will Levis, it's already too little too late. You got to bench him early while the season still has the opportunity to be turned around for you. This dude ain't cutting it. He had 2 touchdowns as well, but the turnovers just outdo the bad. And he looks a lot like Jameis Winston or what Sam Howell did last year with the Washington Commanders. He's probably going to end up leading the NFL in turnovers. And you just can't keep allowing Will Levis to cost you games. You should be 2-1, possibly 3-0 right now if you have a quarterback that can minimize mistakes.